preparing his head with this magical paste from the future, which is probably nano paste. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's nano paste, and it repaired his head. And you see Riz Ali did a great job, Chris Perry, and in the background there's Mike Rudd, the fight choreographer and black belt in Aikido, and he did a great job of his role as bodyguard number 2. And Chris, bodyguard number 1, he didn't even know he was going to be speaking any lines that day, and again, he did a great job. And as you walk in here, we did this take on one day, and on another day, we shot the whole classroom here. I teach at BCIT. This was my MIS class, Management of Information Systems, and they were great. They very patient. They came in and helped me film this whole crowd scene with Riz, which was incredibly helpful. I mean, they great sports and got a lot of great footage, and there's just no way the scene would have had the impact that it did without that classroom full of people. And that was another stressful day. But actually, Riz is a great actor. He actually gave this speech in front of this whole classroom here and was totally composed. He was Ambassador Gill, and I just can't say enough about his abilities and just getting in front of those students and giving this whole speech. And yeah, the scene came together. It took us probably about 3 different days to get all the different pieces here. Stefan putting the gun together, Riz giving his speech, the bodyguards at the back, the classroom full of people. But it really, it all came together. I was amazed when I actually put all the pieces together and did the sound and everything, how well this scene sort of flows, because it was a complicated scene, a lot of different actors, a lot of different people. The class even stayed frozen so that we could give the sensation that time had been frozen and so forth. And then they come out of their freeze and they see Steve with the guns and they start to panic, and then the agent runs out, goes after Stefan, followed by a classroom full of people, which a little bit of comedy there. And then the bodyguards rush out. We got a little bit of speedy scene here, them getting Ambassador Gill out. Did a good job of that. And then you see that Victoria is here as well. Then we did the campus chase. This worked out great. Lots of action. We were able to shoot this fairly quickly. We used this what's called the Poor Man Steadicam. You'll find it on the internet, but it's basically there's a bunch of pipes with weights on it that you attach the camera to that you can move around like a Steadicam. And most of these shots here outside were done using this Steadicam, and it gives camera movement, but it's still fairly fluid and smooth. And yeah, it was great. I put that together about halfway through the movie, and it made these. Suddenly, we went from a lockdown camera to a lot of movement, and it just. I like the way it looks. Not by any means is it a great Steadicam or like a full-featured Steadicam, but the way the camera moves sideways, it seems like there's some weight to the camera, which is I think one of the things that gives production value. So. Poor Man Steadicam was great. This staircase, you see them jumping down here. I leaped down that entire staircase and damaged my feet that day. I could barely walk by the end of the day, but I wanted to see if it was possible. It wasn't, because I hurt myself. So it took me about a month before I could walk normally after that. But fortunately, it was me that did that and not any of the actors. And I'm glad we were still able to get all the footage done that day, even though I was hobbling by the end of the day. BCIT was also kind enough to rent us this great room, the climbing wall at BCIT. The room itself was booked under a birthday party. We were listed as a birthday party, and there were people waiting to get in there by the time we were finishing up. And we definitely had to hustle here because we had a lot of dialogue, we had a lot of movement, a lot of different pieces. Plus, we have this whole final fight, and we had to get all the pieces there. And again, that was Mike and I had choreographed that, and it actually is pretty intense. Like once the pieces all came together, it yeah, it was quite a bit of intensity. I thought that Stefan and Steve really were going for it. They really gave like an impression of two people that were just pounding on each other. Wow. So then, I mean, in a lot of movies, the fight scenes are a lot longer than this. I think that we had to go with what we had, and it was a fairly quick end to the fight this year. You know, Steve getting flipped, and this scene right here, that's Mike. That was Mike doing the flip there. And Stefan gets the gun, and it looks like all is lost. He's going to trigger the time device, cause a quantum explosion, kill Steve, and basically destroy the West Coast. But, of course that doesn't happen, because Victoria has realized all the trouble she's caused, and she is in this pan here. We see her holding the gun, and she's just shot X. And at the point we were shooting this, I think there were people outside waiting to use the climbing wall, so we were really working hard to finish the sequence and get all the parts done. And we did it, enough to be able to tell the story. And again, this very last scene, the music you hear over it, that is Steve Race, the agent. He also released an album called Back Again, and this song is that track, the title track from that album, and it just makes a great end sequence for this movie. I mean, as they walk out the doors here, and you see them kind of fading to white, you hear this great song playing over it, and I was really happy that, I mean, it just seemed like synchronicity, the fact that there's Steve walking out, and his music is playing, and it's just like the perfect song, and Back Again. I mean, we were very fortunate to be able to have such a skilled songwriter. The music you hear in this movie, a lot of it was tracks by Stefan. There's that track by Steve, and I did quite a bit of the music for the action sequences and so forth. So the music was all done by the actors and director of this movie. And coming up, we have the big credits and the stop logo and so forth. The stop logo, that was Steve Way, a Australian graphic designer that hopefully will be moving to Canada soon, and he put together an amazing logo and poster for this movie. And here we have the oof, crashes right into me because he didn't know I was moving the camera. Chris is a little behind on his cue. I thought it would be great. Jackie Chan movies, they always have the bloopers at the end, so because I'm a big fan of his movie, I wanted to do the same thing for this one. And it's great. It shows how much fun we had making this movie, and lots of laughs. And there's the staircase I jumped down. That was too many stairs. I won't do that again. And now you get to see all of the people that participated in this movie. Great bunch of actors. We've got all of the people from my MIS class. They actually, used an afternoon to come and help me with this, so I was grateful to them. And Mike is a fight coordinator. All of the CGI by Dean. I was able to get a bunch of the historical footage from the web. Here's the music stuff. I used in order to create the music, I used a Sony Acid, so you could take loops of drums and guitars and keyboards and so forth, and put them together to create great music. It was all shot in Vancouver and BCIT campus at Burnaby, and here's all the people that I'm incredibly grateful for helping out with the movie. It was a lot of work, took a lot of time, but I certainly could not have done it with all the help that I've had. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to this commentary, and hopefully there'll be more in the future. Thanks for listening.